Hi there, Dr.Onalee here, host of Coming Home. It is my intention to fully help you leave the narcissist, come home to yourself, and start to begin to prepare for your soulmate. The reason I got started on this journey was because of my own narcissistic relationship experience. I was in a textbook narcissistic relationship where the person would gaslight me, they would lie to me, they would cheat on me, and they would make me feel like I was never good enough. And one day I came home, we were living together at the time, we had a pregnancy scare, and that day he moved out on me behind my back with his buddy, no conversation, no talk, no anything. And after that, it is what led me to finding my power, to now creating a multiple six-figure business, helping thousands of other people recover from narcissistic relationships. So if you can resonate with that, you are in the right space. Today, I want to talk about how every single one of my clients who has gone through the four-step program I created and actually did the one-to-one work with me has recovered, because I just got off a client call with a client who started with me, and she asked me, she said, "How are you not fully visible, fully blown up by now? Because the way that I found you was you showed up on my feed. I was in the middle of a divorce with a narcissist. I watched you for months. I watched you get on live. And then I finally pulled the trigger because I felt I could trust you. And my life is completely different thanks to you." And it made me think how often the answer, the solution, it's there, but we don't see it. We don't trust it. We don't know it. And so I create a ton of free content, a ton of free value, but I really want to speak to one person right here. I want to speak to almost as if I'm talking to that client, and that might be you. And I want to share with you that when you're going through a narcissistic relationship, it can be completely isolating, completely damaging, and you most likely are thinking you're the problem. A narcissist loves to place blame on you. They do not take any accountability. They are always projecting outwards. That is how they step into their power and their control. They're able to make you feel small. And so when you're in this vulnerable position, you're going to constantly doubt yourself and question yourself. You might even think you're the narcissist. Maybe you've done things where you've gaslit them or you've said horrible things to them, and maybe they've even called you a narcissist. And it can be a very saddening, hard place for an empath like you. And so when this client came to me, she was going through the emotional, the mental abuse from this person, the financial abuse, the spiritual abuse, all of the kind of abuse. And when we went through the four steps, I had told her, "You're going to be nothing but grateful that you're not with the narcissist anymore. You're going to be nothing but grateful that you're following through with this divorce." And she said, "Yeah, yeah," but she didn't fully believe me. And today on our call, she even told me, "I didn't believe you when you said that, but now that's how I feel. I am disgusted by this person. I have the ick of this person. I don't see anything special about this person. But when we started working together over a year ago, I didn't think that this was possible." And this was what got me in the feels of, I need to get on a podcast and I need to share this, because she is one of my clients of many. Every single one of them, I'm not even kidding, that has gone through my four-step signature one-to-one coaching offer has 100% recovered. They have gotten divorced. They've closed the door. They met their soulmate. They learned how to love themselves. They got their own place. Every single one of them. And so there's a reason for it. Just like an alcoholic who thoroughly 100% works the steps, works the program, you're gonna recover. It works for everyone. Rarely have we seen a person fail. They wanted to actually put never have we seen a person fail who thoroughly follows our path. You will recover. To me, I feel just as bold with saying that around my four-step narcissistic program, because they are the exact steps that I went through. They're tailored from a 12-step program. And if you know anything about a 12-step program, maybe you don't, but it's about a psychic spiritual change. It is not just steps that you are doing. It is an actual surrendering to a higher power. It is an actual changing of your brain, of your nervous system. And eventually, just like say you're an alcoholic and you walk by the wine aisle, one day you simply don't want the wine. You don't know the day that's going to happen. You don't know when the obsession was lifted, but it was. And that was my experience with quitting alcohol. And it's the same thing of how my client, she didn't know the day she was going to be done. She didn't know the day she was going to feel nothing but gratitude. But what we want to focus on is the day did come. The day where you get the ick from the narcissist, the day that you are done, it's going to happen. But you got to work some simple steps. Just like if you're an alcoholic and you want to work a recovery program, it says if you follow these steps, if you follow these simple suggestions, and that is how I view my program. You go through it and you start to realize where you've given your power away. You start to actually see your wound, your pattern, your dynamics, your insecurities that have been running the show. And until we heal those, we keep attracting narcissists and avoidance or staying stuck in the pattern. Once we heal them, though, we won't have a need for the lesson of the narcissist to come into our life or to stay in our life. Once we've learned the lesson, we've handled the spiritual assignment, you go on to new assignments. You start to learn your power through love and grace and ease. You don't need to learn your power and your connection with God through so much pain and so much struggle. Just like even in the Bible, for example, all of the triumphant victories have been from so much pain, poverty, chaos, to so much joy, so much happiness, love. It is the same picture that we are dealing with when you've been in narcissistic hell. The other side of being with a narcissist is heaven on earth. But we got to get comfortable with the healing process. And this is what I actually take my clients through. I view myself as if I'm almost a sponsor for my clients. I am leading and guiding them and holding space for them where they can clear their shame, their guilt, their remorse, their resentment. A lot of people, you probably can relate once you get divorced or once you've gone through this breakup, especially if you have children with the narcissist, you feel like you're breaking up the family or you should have tried harder or you shouldn't have let yourself go. I guarantee you're probably blaming yourself and they're blaming you too, which does not help. And you're carrying a lot of weight and it feels dark and it feels heavy and it feels dense. My role is to hold space for you to get light, to get clear, to feel empowered, to feel supported. As an empath and as somebody who holds space for a ton of healing, as you start to speak and share and be witnessed and seen and know that you're not crazy, you're not alone, you start to clear that energy and you start to feel lighter and you start to be able to see things from a new perspective. That is a lot of what this work is you start to reframe all of what you've been through. You actually are also going to start to forgive. You're going to start to call your power back. You're going to start to see your part. And this is the work that a lot of people don't do and they don't know how to do it. They're not presented with it. It takes confidence. It takes courage. Just like an alcoholic would have to go through the 12 steps and really face themselves and make amends and take an inventory. It is the same thing here, but it is softer here. It's not as intense as actually a 12-step program where you have a fellowship and all of the things. But it is designed for you to start to see your part because when you see your part, you're no longer a victim. And I want to help you get out of feeling a victim and feeling this anger and this rage and this sick to your stomach feeling. They're all justified. Let me tell you that. You're justified in feeling that way, but I promise you that's not allowing you to move forward. That's not allowing you to feel your joy again, your love again. That's not where your soulmate lies. And that is the work that we do. And so I want you to actually feel into the energetics of this conversation rather than even the words that I'm saying, the details of my program. I want you to feel the energy of the transformation, the energy of what happens when you say yes to yourself, when you actually work a program, when you actually heal, when you actually get clear, when you actually see your part, when the fog starts to lift, when you start to feel lighter. I want to really offer you this from an energetic standpoint where it feels like a yes to you. You feel the vibration. You know that you're ready for this. This might feel like an answered prayer to you to actually heal from the narcissist and never attract one again. I have that solution for you, and I would love, love, love to support you. The next step is I would go ahead and do my free 3-step masterclass to leave the narcissist. If you've already left them and you want to stay done with them, the masterclass definitely will help you. But also if you're contemplating leaving them or you keep going back and forth, masterclass will help you. But if you know that you've been done for a while or you really are serious about divorce, you filed for divorce, you're done and you now want some support and you want it to feel a lot lighter, I would then book a 30-minute call with me or do the 4-step one-to-one coaching offer with me. If you have any questions about that, need any assistance, shoot me a message on Instagram at Dr.Onalee. But if you know you're ready for it, and maybe you've been watching my content for some time, just like my other client was, and eventually she pulled the trigger. I'm telling you, if narcissistic relationships or avoidant relationships or divorce, breakup, heartbreak, or you want to prepare for your soulmate, this is my zone of genius. This is what I'm here for. So if it feels like a yes for you, I am ready when you are. Go ahead and click the link in the show notes that resonates with you the most, and I will be seeing you in the next one.